My pet name for my wife is Doc. She thinks it's because she's a doctor. It's really because she's 4 feet 9 inches, and Doc was the first dwarf I could think of. What is your darkest secret? Frick, I thought I got that nickname in Boy Scouts due to me having my first aid merit badge and always being the troop's doctor. I was the shortest kid in the group at 5 feet. I think I didn't grow since I was 10 years old. It all makes sense now. As a scoutmaster of a Boy Scout troop, I applaud your dedication. I'm sorry mom, there is such thing as browsing history. I have a friend who uses the same screen name for everything: Facebook, Twitter, AIM, Gmail, etc. One day, I googled his screen name because I was bored and honestly a bit nosy. I found out that he was very active on a site for child abuse victims. One of his posts said he was physically abused by his uncle when he was a kid and has never told anybody about it. By reading through some comments, I found that the age, location he lived, and where he went to college match up with real life. He even mentioned a breakup with a girlfriend that happened last year around Thanksgiving, which he told me about in real life. So I realized it's 100% him. So now I know my friend's darkest secret and I don't want to tell anybody ever. I'm afraid to bring it up with him because it would be so weird. Out of respect for him, I haven't read anything else he's posted since January, when I decided I should never mention this to him. Hope he'll be alright though. TLDR. Found out friend was physically abused through an internet forum. He has no idea I know. If it ever looks like something's slipping for him, be there and support him. It could help him when he needs it the most. Well, next time she gets mad and tells you, I'm not happy, you can reply, no, you're Doc, and see if she gets it then. Listen, I'm so mean about our relationship. I'm not happy, Anim. That's right, you're not happy. You're Doc, ha 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 ha. I'm leaving you. I feel so bad for saying this, but my so has a sister with Down syndrome and it just makes me feel uneasy. I don't know why, but being around her and others like her just makes me want to get the heck away. I think it is because I just suck at feigning being enthusiastic around them. To be clear, I don't hate them, I just feel uneasy, and what makes it worse is that I feel like everyone knows and thinks I am a horrible person for it. I feel the same, but I also get uneasy around pregnant women and really old people. Like I'm so clumsy I'll trip and suddenly I've killed them. Not really a secret, but going with the theme of your secret, my nickname for my best friend is Butterfly, not because she is beautiful, but because if you rub her skin, her tons of foundation will rub off on you like pigment off a butterfly's wings. Gross. When I was dating my wife, I forgot her name for about 2 weeks. I finally told her 8 years later. Dolores. Not my biggest secret, but a similar story to that in the title. I call one of my friends Midge. She thought it was after Donna's mom from that 70s show and was enamored with the nickname for whatever reason. It's really because she's really short and Midge is short for midget. Mine is that I call my wife Squeaky. She feels it's an insult. I, however, know that it's a loving reference to a childhood toy that made me feel secure and happy. Well, that was a lot less dark than me possibly having killed my grandmother by refusing to donate bone marrow as a young lad. Ah well, I am sure I'll find something dark to post someday. Just tell her that's why you call her that. The lullaby I sing to my so is a variation of the Pokemon theme song. That's your darkest secret? Well, I'm not telling mine then. It was a toss-up between that and the fact I actually killed her husband and am wearing his skin. I actually created a throwaway so this doesn't get back to me. It's just something I've needed to say in some form or fashion for a long time. When I was a small child, my father passed away. My mother was at work and my sisters and I found the body. My eldest sister had to call 911. The ambulance came and he was pronounced dead and taken away. To be honest, most of that day is somewhat hazy in my memory with the exception of early that morning. That is my darkest secret. No one knows it, but I was the first one up. I saw my dad collapse and because I was angry he wasn't going to watch cartoons with me like we normally did, I did nothing about it and went back to bed. I was very young, but I could have done something about it or told someone. I have dreams of this memory frequently and I normally wake up crying. I've never explained it to anyone until this anonymous post that will probably be buried and never seen again. You in no way did anything wrong. Small children have no concept of life or death. Many children think it is the same as sleeping. There's no reason to feel any guilt for this. Your reaction was age appropriate and understandable. I took a crap on the garden as a little kid, and about an hour later, it completely disappeared. Aliens. Dog ate it. I've called my boyfriend daddy before. He was under the impression I did it because he occasionally calls me kiddo. It's actually because he looks so much like my father, and I've always just wanted my dad to love me. Someone get Freud on the line. I'm never satisfied with what I receive. As soon as I get something that I've wanted, worked for, earned, it immediately loses its value and I begin searching for something else to fulfill me. Don't get a credit card. People joke about not remembering what they did on the internet before Reddit. I seriously can't remember, and it concerns me. I haven't had an out of school social experience since December. I haven't had an out of school out of work social experience since December of 1997. That despite having set and accomplished so many goals in my life, I can't shake this feeling that I never really deserve any of it. I have gotten lucky so many times, and have had so much help along the way, I always expect to be exposed as a fraud. I have sister who is 3 years younger than me. Our dad was a drunk and my mom was the laziest thing around who really didn't care for us. So needless to say, my sister and I are very close to each other. I don't know why, but it felt good looking out for her. Almost a fatherly feel. However, I once had a dream where inappropriate things happened between us. I have not told anyone, except here, I guess, and it still bothers me to this day. I'm getting an abortion in 3.5 hours to get out what's left of my fetus since I miscarried last night. I found out that I was pregnant on Mother's Day. The part that makes it dark is the fact that I saw my baby come out in pieces in my bathtub. That's almost exactly what happened to us too. It was also horrific, but it turns out that it happens a lot more often than you ever know until it's happened to you. I know it's not any consolation, but it gets easier to bear with time. 5 years later, and I no longer think about it every day. Hug. I masturbate to drawn pee more often than real pee. I've been plotting a way to kill the mayor and governor. True story. I live in Monterrey, Mexico, and I'm fed up with the bulls they're putting us through. Obviously I'm not going to do it, but it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. I mean, I have everything set up but I'm not gonna do it. I've bribed a couple of officials to get me into the building but I'm not going to go through with it though. I make up so many stories that a significant part of my life as my friends and family know it is a lie. I only go to the gym to look at hot men working out. I don't give a frick about exercise and eat McDonald's and chain smoke afterwards. I didn't give up on my dreams of being a writer. I was just rejected too many times that it broke me. Well, it's no secret that the best thing about a secret is secretly telling someone the secret, thereby secretly adding another secret to their secret collection of secrets. Secretly. My secret, I have watched enough SpongeBob to know the exact scene in the exact episode in the exact season that exact quote is from. Exactly. I've never had a real relationship, and I secretly despise pretty much everyone close to me. Same here. Not true of my family, but I have deep resentments about a lot of the friends I've ended up with. I'd move elsewhere but I don't have any qualifications and I'm fairly introverted. The concept freaking terrifies me. When I go up to people at work I usually casually say hey girl, what's up, but that's just my way of going around the fact that I don't know their name. So many names to remember. I think this whole thing runs in the family because my sister does not know her own roommate's name and she has been living with her for 3 months. I killed the previous king. I drank the previous king through a straw, assassin style. My darkest secret is that I am not black. Also I am not flamboyant. Whenever I hear about public shootings and hear 5 people got killed, I think by myself that I could do a lot better. Does anyone else remember the guy who admitted that he convinced his friend's mom to commit suicide? I never learned how to read non-digital clocks. I'm actually not an butthole. I'm a female, and I have always wanted to experiment fricking with another female. However, I don't know how to go about it. I'm awkward, and I'm afraid it would just end up opening an unwanted can of worms. I can eat an entire frozen pizza. My BMI is 21. Wasn't there already something like this, with a CM box? I create my own misery by being an incredible butthole, yet I don't know how to be any other way. Cheer up, Bernard, your bookshop business will pick up soon. Could be worse, you could have called her Tyrion or Jimmy instead. I call my daughter Squirt. She thinks it's from one of the movies that she loves, but it's because that's all it took to create her. I lied to my boyfriend, told him I had a miscarriage. I had an abortion. Anyway, here's mine. I have fallen in love with 3 fictional characters in my life. Not just, I like this character, or the way someone says they love Emma Watson or something. Full blown, I want this person to be with me for the rest of my life affection. Each one lasted a few months. They still linger a bit. I told one person, and that fact is extremely embarrassing. Bear in mind that I'm not a neckbeard or even a geek really. Don't care about anime or anything like that. It's really weird. I've experienced this too. Eventually found it less weird when I realized that sometimes, even when you fall in love with a real life person, you're still just falling in love with a fictional character. I was on my boyfriend's computer one day and found an email he had written to my mom asking her advice on when he should propose to me. 2 weeks later he did and I had to act really surprised. I hate myself for ruining that. I can't live up to the pedestal my mom puts me on, and I can't bring myself to tell her. My pet name for my girlfriend is also Doc, for virtually the same reasons. I have never felt more connected to a stranger on the internet in my life. I put a big rock on a train track once. I don't know why. I think it caused a crash. You have been spotted by the money pigeon. Comment gimme gimme and he will bless you with good fortune. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.